Hello, this is Doug, the 2-Minute Gardener. Well, recently I had a viewer ask me how this specific barbecue was built. They saw it in my video, 25 outdoor kitchen ideas, and wanted to see the actual step-by-step construction. So I told them I would be happy to make that video. So the first step, of course, is coming up with a design and laying it out in the yard. And once you've done that, then the really monotonous part of digging the trenches to run all the utilities. A barbecue of this size is going to need electrical and water and a sewer drainage and a gas setup. So there's lots of trenching that needs to be done. Once you've trenched to that spot, then you can start actually building it. And then you find out that you need to do a little bit more adjustment on the trenching to get all the pipes lined up in exactly the right spot. But most of these barbecues are put together with these CMU blocks. And you can see there's lots of different cutouts in these blocks. Now, it's also important to note that there's rebar reinforcement in these walls because it's going to get a concrete countertop. So they need to be really solidly built walls. Now, one thing that's important I want you to note, before they got around to forming the top, they actually pulled all the appliances out, made sure all the cutouts fit exactly right. Because once you start pouring the concrete, you are really locked into how everything shapes up. Once you're sure all the appliances are going to fit in all the different openings, and as you will see, there are a lot of appliances in this particular barbecue, then it's time to form it. Now, this countertop is a poured-in-place concrete countertop with an overhang, with an elevation change. So it required a lot of rebar to reinforce all these little lips and cracks and turns and all these other things. So also, it's an interesting thing that this is a colored concrete. This is Palomino again. You've seen this color in several of my videos on concrete. It is my favorite of all the Davis Concrete colors. And it lightens up to a really beautiful brown under normal circumstances. But as you see in this video, we're going to actually darken it up with some staining on top of it to give it some really beautiful texture. Anyway, they're pouring the concrete and they're floating it to make it just a beautifully smooth surface, working around where all the openings are going to go. And this is quite a tedious process. It took all day to pour this little piece of concrete on the side. Now notice also that they're doing the concrete work before they do the stucco sides to the barbecue. Concrete work is definitely the messiest part of this entire process. You want to do that first. Also notice that they're working around dirt. We haven't done the nice finished hardscape yet because again, we want to do concrete first, everything else after the concrete, because these boys make a big mess when they are pouring concrete. All right, so jump ahead a week, and now you can see the forms have been taken off. The concrete is looking great. It's just a nice, fabulous surface. Now, we're still going to work a little bit on this concrete, but now we can start doing the next step, which is to do the stucco sides. The client picked a beautiful dark color to contrast with the concrete. It's actually a color, as you'll see in the finished product, they carry throughout the entire backyard renovation. So we're doing a nice smooth Santa Barbara finish to the stucco. Really beautiful. It is kind of this fun dark color, but it's going to turn out just great. All right, after all of that's dry, then it's time to actually bring in the appliances and see if everything fits. Now, before we get to that, also I wanted to show the concrete has a little bit of a sheen to it. That's right, they did a beautiful polishing job and then put a semi-gloss sealer. It's really important that when you are doing a concrete countertop for a barbecue that you do a sealer, because you are going to spill stuff on this concrete. It has to be sealed and it has to be resealed probably every 3 to 5 years, depending on how much sun exposure it gets. So they polished the concrete, they put in all the really cool appliances. This thing had a charcoal grill. It was really kind of neat. Not a gas grill. He wanted a charcoal grill, a sink, and a little side gas burner, and then various utilities, and of course a little trash can area as well. And there it is, the finished product with the entire shade structure. And again, now you get a chance to see the different dark colors throughout this entire project, how we've carried it through the entire backyard. Here's the raised area for the bar top, really beautiful, built in some nice outlets, and in the shade structure itself there's downlights and a fan as well. And here's another close-up of that polished concrete countertop. with all the different appliances, the ice chest, and all different kinds of things. Turned out just beautifully. Well, I also want to give a big thanks to Unique Landscaping. They did a fantastic job building this barbecue. They are really great. Here's their contact information. Well, that's all the time we have for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to get more of my garden videos. Until next time, this is Doug, the 2-Minute Gardener, saying thanks for watching.